Hi, I'm Kevin Tame, and welcome to the Maester's Path. Today I'm playing the Targ Crossing deck, and I'm playing against a Lanny Wars to Come deck. I really haven't faced very many Lannisters lately, and so I really kind of had to read the cards and understand kind of what was happening. It looks like they get a lot of gold, and specifically I use this Casterly Rock to be able to continuing to do intrigue on me. So let's jump right into this match and see how it goes. So this is a pretty good starting hand. I like it. I see some economy. I have Flea Bottom. I have Khal Drogo. So I go ahead and decide to keep this hand. I feel like it's pretty decent. So I also was able to figure out that I'm able to do a 5-card setup, which feels really great because the reason I want to get 5 cards down with my 8 gold is because then I can draw a lot of cards next turn. On my after you've played all your stuff, you can draw back up. And so this turned out really great because I was able to draw into some other cards. My opponent did use Heads on Spikes, and they hit my Daenerys, which I really wanted to put out and play this turn. But I still have Khal Drogo, and so what I'm going to do is I decided to take trading with the Pentashi so that I could get Khal Drogo out, and then I'll be able to do multiple attacks and hopefully kind of start whittling away their board. Specifically, kind of like my high level strategy here is that I want to, since I'm able to do 4 attacks or 4 challenges each turn, I really want to hit that third one where I'm able to get like Renown with Khal Drogo and also be able to get the Lords of the Crossing power. I'm trying to, I want to make sure that I have the exact amount of money because I want to be able to play, play some key cards, specifically hold on to money for Nightmares and for Flea Bottom. I think this may be a misplay, and I probably should have put Milk of the Poppy on maybe one of my opponent's characters, but I wasn't quite sure like what the cards had done at the moment, and so it would have probably been a good idea to do it now. But this red cloaks probably would have been a good one because they get to put gold on the red cloaks to be able to build up the strength, and so that kind of builds up over time. And then they hit my Milk of the Poppy, so it probably would have been good to hit that. However, sometimes I think like what I was thinking at the time is I wanted to hold on to Milk of the Poppy for like a big character like Tywin Lannister or Jaime Lannister or something like that. So this is a relatively difficult one for me to fully defend, but I don't really want to lose my characters right now, so I go ahead and I commit Khal Drogo and one of my dragons that the series. I can never remember which one is which. I'm getting better, but the art I can't remember. Yeah, so this kind of like beginning phase. What I'm doing is I went second, and which is good because I want them to kind of get power and kind of start going, and then I want to be able to steal that power on my turn if possible, which they've really overcommitted this first turn. So now I'm able to do a kill here that is going to be they can't really contest it, and I'm also going to be able to get dominance as well. So now they actually have some power that I can steal in my next turn. So I feel like that was a pretty good exchange. It put me up 2 power. Part of that is because I have the Renown on Jorah and Khal Drogo. So I go ahead and I'm going for Heads on Spikes as well because now I want to get the 2 power from Heads on Spikes. That's like the main reason why I do it. Hitting characters is good, but also the 2 powers. I'm trying to rush to get to my power as quickly as possible. So I hit a character, great. That's exactly what I want. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to put out Second Sons, and the reason I'm going to put out Second Sons is because I want Second Sons to die or get knocked out so that I can bring them back with Flea Bottom. So it's a really good combination there, Flea Bottom and Second Sons. I just was here fixing. The trigger hadn't gone all the way through, so I didn't get the discount, so I was just getting my money. Now I'm holding on to Nightmares, and I'm probably going to play Nightmares because my opponent is going to try and ping my hand. And what I want to happen is I want to get Nightmares down, and I want to play Nightmares on their red cloaks. So they go ahead and they commit with red cloaks. Now here's an opportunity for me to play Nightmares to bring that strength down. So I can bring that strength down, and if they can block it, they can block it, great. But if not, then we'll just continue. So now I'm able to easily defend with like a lower strength character. And when they then do the intrigue, I don't mind if they ping one of these characters, because then I can bring one of these characters to... So here's like my decision is I could block this and get a... But then I am stuck with Jorah, and I can't use Jorah anymore in a key moment. So because you lose Jorah, obviously, once he gets the betrayal tokens. So I decided like, oh, this is better for me just to hold off, let this character get discarded. Now I can use Flea Bottom to bring him back. So go ahead and defend there. My opponent goes ahead and decides to jump in this Burned Men. As a way to, I guess, to defend. And they're really committing quite a bit here. I do have a dupe, which I decide I just want to like use my dupe to get through this. And since their board is pretty much all knelt, I'm going to be able to do 4 challenges unopposed and get a lot of power. So it's going to be a big swing for me. So that it's a mistake of my opponent, I think, to overcommit like this. And they don't have the money to bring the Hound back. So I go ahead and I use that dupe, and now I'm gonna be bringing in. I want to be using Flea Bottom here to bring back the Scout. I think it's called Wildling Scout or something like that. Yeah, Wildling Scout. My opponent has Treachery, so they cancel that, which is fine. That wastes gold for them, so might as well just get it out of the way. But I still am in a really good spot here, so I'm able to go ahead and attack unopposed. In hindsight, it might have been better before I tried that to maybe get my intrigue in play first. So I could have done a few more challenges and then bring out the Wildling Scout, and maybe I'd hit Treachery from hand. So that probably would have been a more optimal play, is to do the Flea Bottom after I did my intrigue. Now I'm just getting all of my unopposed. I get my renown. I also get my, because like if I had played that a little differently, well, I wouldn't have worked out, to be honest. I might have hit Treachery. It might have actually worked out and I would have been able to win the game here, because if I had done my intrigue and I had hit the Treachery, I would have then been able to bring out the Wildling Scout and win dominance and have 15. So I would have been able to win that round if I had kind of sequenced that a little differently. That's a chance. I might not have. I mean, it's highly likely that I wouldn't have won, and I still would only make it to 14, but there's a chance I could have. Here, I just am drawing as many cards as I can, and the honest truth is I don't think my opponent can get out of this. So, since I'm the first player here, I am just trying to get out some more characters, and I have Flea Bottom as well, and I go ahead and put it on also on this the red cloak so that they have less strength. Just put the Milk of the Poppy there, and I think my opponent honestly can't recover. Like, just passively, I can win this match. So they bring in Tywin. I do have the Nightmare, so I have a gold to play Nightmares. I play Nightmares on Tywin, and I can overpower them for their power. So there's really no out for my opponent at this point. They don't know this until I'm able to play. until I play Nightmares. Yeah, so I think like, I mean, maybe it was hard for my opponent at this point to reset the board, right? Like they could have Valor, but then they would also been in a bad place as well. And I had a lot of locations to try and recover as well. They don't know that I didn't have a lot of characters in hand, but I did have Flea Bottom to bring some characters back. So I think it would have been hard for them to do a reset. I think I just got ahead of them, and I think what really helped me in this match was making that decision early on to put 5 cards down, so I got a lot of draw at the beginning of the game, so that I was able to see all my stuff. Yeah, at this point here, I have so much power opportunity. My opponent concedes. They're like, yeah, I can't win this. And so yeah, that was the match. It was well played by my opponent, and I really enjoyed that one. I feel like that's like the happy path, right? It's my deck operating as optimally as possible. Because what was that, turn? I guess that was turn 4, start of turn 4, and so it went pretty quick. Obviously, all my matches don't always end that way. I think some of the things I've been learning about this since like I've gotten coaching and kind of watching other people's matches and just learning about the game is it's really important to know when to like go full into a challenge and not. Like, so I think a really great play for me this match was not bringing in Jorah to defend against the intrigue, so that they would ping my hand for one of the characters to try and bring that character back. Even though they had the treachery, I still think that was a really good line, because it was a pretty good chance. It was 100% chance that I would lose a character, right? If it goes unopposed. And then I have Flea Bottom. There was just the risk that they might have something like treachery. But I think that's an okay risk to take. I think another thing was my plot decision to take trading with the Pentashi when I saw Danny and Drogo in my hand. So even though they play head on spikes and I lost Danny, like I was able to get one of those big characters out, and either one of them is going to work really well, right? Because if I bring Danny out, I am able to use the dragon abilities. If I bring Khal Drogo out, I'm able to do the multiple militaries. So it's like just either one would have been a good decision, like a good outcome. Obviously, it would have been great to have both. And then my next decision to heads on spikes was, I think, a good one because of getting that extra 2 power that kind of then pushed me over the edge a little bit more, right? That able to help me close this game out faster. And then my third plot by picking, let's see, I picked, so I only picked one. I picked trading with the Pentashi, heads on spikes, and then counting coppers. So the reality was this is the start of the 3rd round. So the reason I picked the counting coppers is because I want to, get my card draw up. So that was a perfect opportunity for me to, be able to find more cards and more economy and more people. And I already had the board state set up where it was really difficult for my opponent to kind of keep up. They would have had to wipe my board to really slow me down. Anyways, thanks for watching this match. It was fun. I've learned a lot by playing these games, and I thought this was like me kind of at this point of really starting to understand the deck and operating like really well. I think my opponent probably made some mistakes that made it more difficult for them, but I think I had really great lines that contributed to my success in winning the match. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have any comments or thoughts, please let me know. Bye.